Okay, cool. I'll just be glowing today. That's fine. Hey guys, it's Julia. So today I was downstairs in my basement, and for those of you who don't know, my basement is also kind of a very big storage space. Down there, there's also piles and piles of books that we just haven't gotten rid of or just haven't had the time to sort through. My brother and I's kind of like childhood. I was looking through that pile today and I found a lot of old books that I totally forgot about, but I remember absolutely loving as not a child, but like a 10-year-old. So today, without further ado, I'm going to be showing you some of my favorite books from my childhood, I guess you could say. So the first books that I really remember enjoying reading was the Babysitter's Club series by Anne M. Martin. These books, there's hundreds of these books. Like, it's ridiculous. There are so many of these books, and obviously I haven't read all of them. I was little, I used to go up to Seattle to my family's house, and my aunt was a librarian, so she kept a lot of old books in her house. One time I found the Babysitter's Club, and she had so many of these old copies of the Babysitter's Club, and every time I would go down there I would read them and read them and read them because I absolutely loved them. And I loved all the different characters and all the different stories. And then one time I went to Seattle and they were all gone and she'd gotten rid of them, and that was so sad. That was one of the saddest days of my life. I remember my favorite was probably Jessie and the Dance School Phantom. Considering I am a dancer myself, I really liked this book because I could relate to it in that time. Because there are all these little French words like ballet words, and I'm like, I get it, I get it. Like my little 10-year-old self was just patting myself on the back like, Julia, look at you, you're smart. And to go along with the Babysitter's Club, I also enjoyed reading the Babysitter's Little Sister series, which stars Karen, right, who is Christy's little stepsister. And these ones are just smaller versions, little tiny books. Very cute, very 90s. Obviously I didn't have all of them either, but I always enjoyed reading them. The next books that I remember enjoying as a kid were definitely the Laura Ingalls series memoir thingies. I don't even know if these are like works of fiction or if these are like memoirs, or I don't know. My mom and I would always read at night. It alternated between my mom and my dad, but before bedtime we'd always read a book, and my brother would either read with my mom or my dad. Like, we'd alternate every night. And one of the books that my mom and I loved reading together, aside from Harry Potter, were these House in the Big Woods, Little House on the Prairie books by Laura Ingalls Wilder. I had this kind of obsession with like old-fashioned kind of things. Like, I love the like style of dress and like the horse-covered carriages and all that stuff. I found it really, really fascinating. So hearing about these stories happened long before I was alive really interested me, and I think I really liked like historical fiction when I was a kid, which is really weird because I really don't like historical fiction now. Keeping with the historical fiction theme, another set of books that I really enjoyed reading as a kid were the Dear Canada series. For those of you who don't know, if you live in the US or something, I think you have a different version of this, like Dear America or something like that. Basically, these are just all about these girls who live in these different time periods, and they're all just stories from that time told in a diary kind of sense. Like, you read them and it's a diary basically. Historical fiction kind of seemed to be my thing, I guess. This was like my favorite book ever, and I was just obsessed with like the disaster in it. As a kid, I really liked disasters and like natural disasters and things like that. I was really weird. I was like dark. Another set of books that I really enjoyed reading, and I know lots of people enjoy reading, they are the Nancy Drew series by Caroline Keene. I remember getting these 6 in Seattle once again, I believe. I liked how they seemed more mature than what I normally read. I liked the mystery, and I would always try to kind of solve the mystery, but I never could because I wasn't that smart. The Nancy Drew series and the Hardy Boys series are obviously classic mystery. The next book series that I remember vividly enjoying in my youth, I'm still in my youth, the Geronimo Stilton novels by Geronimo Stilton. So these books, if you did not know, are books about this mouse named Geronimo Stilton, and he goes on adventures and stuff. How did they keep this story going? Like, it's about a mouse. And the last books that I remember really enjoying reading with my dad, how I said earlier that my mom and my dad alternated reading to me. My mom would read me like Little House on the Prairie and stuff like that, and my dad would read me these multiple works by Andrew Clements. I literally had every one of Andrew Clements' books. Like, I am looking at the back of this right now, and I wish I kept more of these because I had, I think, all of them except maybe one. These are all just kind of books from kids' points of view. They'll have multiple storylines, multiple different things. A lot of them revolve around school. They're just these random little books that always have made me so happy because they're just so sweet, and they're kind of like contemporary novels nowadays, but they're kind of not. Those are all the books that I really enjoyed reading in my tween years, I guess you could say. I would love to know what you guys like to read because I love looking back and being like, oh yeah, I did read that. Oh yeah, that was so cool. That was like the thing, da da da. So if you guys want to leave a comment down below telling me your favorite children's book from, or your favorite book from when you were younger, I would love to know. And I love you guys. I will see you guys again very soon in my next video. Bye.